guys, Work here, welcome back to the bench. Today we're here to talk about this. Well, not all of this, just part of this. This is my CZ P10c. But we are not here to talk about my entire CZ P10c. I'm currently in the testing process. Been carrying this thing for about a week. Put the good old P01 down and been carrying this guy for about a week and a half now. And, you know, I love this gun. This is the first striker fired gun that I've picked up and I have absolutely loved. But that is not why we're here today. We are here today to talk about something else on this. Something that is kind of a difficult subject when it comes to CZs, and that is sights. You guys have seen I'm pretty opinionated on sights. Those of you who have seen my take on the TrueGlow TFX Pros know that I am pretty opinionated when it comes to sights. I'm not gonna lie about that. What we have for you today is the XS F8 sight system. Now, the F8 sight system are a newer offering from XS. XS is traditionally known for their big dots, which is a kind of a V in the back and a big old dot that you stick on top of a post. It's a pumpkin in a post sight picture. The F8s are a much more close to traditional sight style. So you get a single dot front sight. This is a pretty good sized front dot. On CZs particularly, it is the entire width of the front dovetail. It is as wide as you can make that front blade. And the dot takes up every square inch of available space. The rear is also really nice. It is a blacked out rear with a single tritium vial down here. I don't like it quite as much as the post that you get on the XS big dots, but it is still nice. I have really gotten to liking the over-under setup as far as tritium goes. I feel like in the dark that's just a better method of lining up shots. And the rest of the rear sight is blacked out with what is relatively decent sized flats up here on top for our equal height, equal light. They do, for my taste, they cut in a little bit too far. I would like to see these maybe chamfered a little bit further out or a little bit shallower so that we get a little bit more of that front edge. But overall, the overall sight design is pretty good. I'm guessing the reason they're called the F8s is because of the figure 8 pattern of the tritium vials that you're going to use when you line these things up. You'll pop one tritium vial on top of the other, and that will be your night sight lineup. A couple other features that it has. It does set this rear sight really nice and far back. A lot of the XS big dot sights are just the rear sight post back here. It doesn't have the Novak sweep to it to set the sight as far back as you can get it. So that gives us a little bit better sight radius to be able to line everything up. It does also give us a really nice sharp ledge back here. That ledge is really nice. I mean, if you're the type of person that does one-handed manipulations, this is going to be a really nice catch for a belt. It is slightly sharp. I've not had any issues with catching anything on it inadvertently, but it is slightly sharp. It's not nice and streamlined like some of the ones that are specifically set up for carry. Compared to stock, these things are quite a bit better. The stock sights on this aren't bad necessarily. They're just not optimal. This one, because it is the FDE model, came with stock night sights. It was a blacked out rear and a dotted front. The dot on the front could have been a little bit bigger and I would have been happy, or it could have been an off color like the orange ones on the non-night sights. That actually would have been the most preferred for me. I really appreciate a nice alternate color up here on that front sight. But with these, that big nice dot sinks really nicely into that rear notch, which is a squared notch, and it sinks right down in there. The one complaint that I would have with these is that the rear notch width is actually really wide compared to the front sight width. You get a lot of airspace on either side of that front sight when you're lining those up. There is a happy medium in how much airspace versus how little airspace you want. TFX Pros, they're too far on the light side. There's not enough space in between the front post and the rear sight to be able to get a quick acquisition. With these, we've got the opposite problem. There's too much airspace in there. I would prefer too much over too little, but too much still puts these at a slight disadvantage. However, a slight disadvantage to what? I don't know, because these are one of like two mainstream offerings for the P10c. The other mainstream offering that is very similar to this setup are the night vision sights, which you guys know I've tried to get before. I do know someone with the night visions now, so I will be taking a look at those shortly. But with the f8 sights from XS, if you're looking for replacement sights for your P10c, I would say the XS sights are a really good option. These f8s, they maintain that traditional sight picture. They're super accurate, and they're really quick to be able to pick that front dot up. Those quicker shots are going to be slightly less accurate, obviously. The increased airspace does make it so that those quick shots do take a little bit longer to be able to line up for precision shots, but by precision shots, I'm talking like a 6-inch plate at 10 yards, not like a body size at 10 yards. And honestly, with these, I was hitting 6-inch plates at 10 yards relatively quickly. Transitioning, drawing, you name it, the sight acquisition was pretty quick and pretty spot on. You do have to feel the gun out a little bit with them. I found the learning curve to these is not as steep as the learning curve to the XS Big Dots. I do prefer these over the Big Dots, however the Big Dots are still a viable option. They have their purpose. I have a set of those as well. They're sitting on my P07, and we will get into what I feel the purpose is for Big Dots when I do that review. But for now, the XS F8 sights, I would say if you're looking for a sight system for your P10c, you need to take a look at these. I'll make my final judgment on if I prefer these or the night visions once I check the night visions out. But no matter what quality the night visions are, you can't go wrong with these. These will be a solid option to toss on your P10c. They're quick, they're accurate, they look pretty good, and thus far, they're pretty darn rugged too. Installation was just as simple as pretty much any other sight installation. They didn't go in really any different than any other sight system I've installed on a CZ, and I've done a lot of sights on CZs now. The front was a very nice tight fit, as was the rear, and you can see that the fit and finish is excellent on these. They are hugging right on that rear portion of this slide. That's one thing that I've noticed with aftermarket sights sometimes is they leave too much of a gap back here. These are perfect. They sit right down in there. Everything looks great. That front dot is huge and pretty luminescent. That thing catches light really well in the sunlight. Now the cool thing about that front sight is, not only is it tritium, but the dot is luminescent as well. So with a quick blast from a flashlight, you can charge this thing so that not only do you have that nice tritium dot, but you've also got that gigantic front dot, that entire thing luminescent to lay down in your notch and line up with your rear tritium vial here. And that is a really neat feature to not only give you the tritium, but also luminescence to be able to utilize in a low light situation. So if you're looking for a pair of sights for your P10c, 100% give these things a look. That's it for this time, guys. Review of the XS F8 sights for the CZ P10c. Remember, if you found this video useful, go ahead and like and subscribe down below. If you're looking forward to any of our upcoming content, like the review on those night visions, go ahead and hit that notification bell. Remember, I appreciate every one of you, and until next time, do your research, get informed, and get to work.